'82, I was 17, my old man was 55. If you do the math between the two of us, that's 72 years of life. An eternity, so it seemed to me. How could anything live that long? Now I say my folks were only 84 the year that they passed on. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be. And my grandpa Roy, when he was a boy in 1904, he was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be. Oh, Johnny!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Johnny, hey! Oh, yeah!
Did the guitar face.
Ibuprofen's under buy again in my online shopping cart.
Did I send you something about what Walls is saying about the assault weapon?
Yes.
Okay, so you
He
got
doesn't
that.
seem to have any weight to pull. Nobody's paying attention to him.
But he's blaming the Republicans, and even Lisa Damuth said, "Wait a minute, Governor." There was a housing encampment story in the Star Tribune today. The owner's blocked from hosting any more.
You know that the online version of the Star Tribune, I had to hunt for the $14 million fraud story.
Oh, I found it.
You ready, Joe?
I found it. Yes, I am, Chris. How are you?
On the e-edition.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic podcast number 1627, September 25th, 2025. 91 degrees, the record high on this day. That was back in 1920. And just a little while later, 1926, it was 31 degrees. Call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Haidt in the newsroom, and of course, the Rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Souchere.
Attention, Robin Wansley. I'm going to credit the Mink for this.
Okay.
When Robin says, you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet, the rest of us should say, okay, where's my omelet? Ba-dum,
Right.
boom, boom. See, that's when commies say, I got to break a few eggs to make an omelet, promising you better. Well, then you say, okay, where's my omelet?
Show me.
That's
Farmers?
what Orwell said.
Tell her I don't like omelets.
Yeah.
What? How do you not like an
How can
omelet?
you not like an omelet?
Let's stay focused. Let's stay
Oh,
focused.
that's right. Okay.
Well,
Good luck.
we have news today that a woman named Mary Johnson defrauded. No, I'm sorry. I'm being told her name is Asha Farhan Hassan.
She wasn't Swedish.
She wasn't a Scandinavian. Asha Farhan Hassan who's 28 years old, is the first person to face charges from the U.S. Attorney's Office in the ongoing investigation into autism providers. That's the latest healthcare fraud to prompt criminal charges. Last week, the U.S. Attorney's Office announced charges in connection with another plot to steal hundreds of thousands of taxpayer dollars from the Housing Stability Program that the prosecutors say was riddled with fraud. Now, Farhan Hassan, 28, I think there has to be some due given this woman. I think she's the record holder right now. Isn't she in first place?
True champion.
Well, as a single individual, $14 million.
Yeah.
I think she's got to be in first place.
We would call her a master criminal.
She was really fraudy.
Well, let's
Holy
just have her
mackerel.
give that $14 million back.
Well, that's unlikely.
Oh, no.
To be clear, this is not an isolated scheme. From feeding our future to housing stabilization and now autism services, these massive fraud schemes form a web that has stolen billions of dollars in taxpayer money. Acting U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson said, each case we bring exposes another strand of this network. The challenge is immense, but our work continues. Here's one of the reasons the challenge is immense. Do you realize that Asha Farhan Hassan, at $14 million of fraud, is the first indictment in the autism fraud examination? She's the first.
Yep.
What in God's name is coming?
She was just corralling kids in saying, hey, say he or she is autistic.
Court filings from 2019 to late 2024 say that Hassan and her partners received more than $14 million in reimbursements from the Minnesota Department of Human Services, EIDBI program, and UCare insurance by submitting claims for autism services that were not provided. Prosecutors said she split the proceeds with her partners and sent hundreds of thousands of dollars abroad, including for real estate in Kenya. Her lawyer, John, and I are wrestling with his name. Ryan.
Pasiga.
I'm going to go with Pasiga.
It is Pasiga.
Oh, yeah, Ryan's well known. Ryan Pasiga, yes.
I thought he was kind of comical.
Is he appointed or is he for hire?
No, she hired him.
How do you know him, Chris?
He's been doing ads for 1 million years in this market.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean,
That I've never heard.
okay, sorry for pointing out something
No,
factual.
I'm
you
not-
asked.
no,
I'm
Would everybody settle down?
I'm doffing my hat.
We got enough on our plate here.
It wasn't hurtful.
And according to this Pasiga, Hassan started businesses with a genuine desire to serve her community.
This is the one where I LOL'd when I read it this morning.
But after some time, fraud began to happen.
It just
See,
crept
it just
in,
happened.
Joe.
Just
It
happened.
just
It does.
happened.
That's what happens sometimes.
Couldn't stop it.
We determined it was best to take responsibility early and work out an agreement with the U.S. Attorney's Office. Ms. Hassan is doing what she can to make it right. Well, I heard last night the Channel 5 reporter talking to Pasiga, and I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, but he said, will she be able to pay it back? And Pasiga just shook his head and said, nope.
I think that was that Eric Rasmussen?
Might have been. And then if it was Rasmussen, he said to Pasiga, well, was there ever any care for autism? And he said, maybe at the beginning.
Joe, my question is, his quote, she started the business with genuine desire, but then fraud happened. Didn't they call up Joe Thompson and say, look, Joe, can we have lunch? I've got something to tell you. Or did they find out about the investigation?
I'm the latter. The investigation has begun its focus on looking at the autism program funding, and maybe up popped her name first because she's the record holder at $14 million.
Yeah. So it wasn't some kind of heartfelt admission.
I really would doubt that. In a statement, the Department of Human Services said the department opened its investigation into her business, which was called Smart Therapy. in August of last year and stopped payments when law enforcement searched Smart Therapy in December of last year. The DHF's Officer Inspector General currently has...
Pause.
Oh, God, I got to pause.
What's your guess, GLers? What's your guess?
84 open cases on autism providers and 24 active payment withholds.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. I don't know, man.
I have a
I
test
don't
for
know.
all of you. You only get one word.
F.
You
Yeah.
can't use that one.
Dang it.
Past tense.
You can't use that one. What one word would you use to describe? We've been onto this now for quite some time. I'm becoming increasingly convinced this is a planned part of the mystery to defraud us. What one word would you use? I'm going to start with Mr. John Haidt. He's a newsman.
Goodness.
And you only get one. What one word would you use to describe how you are reacting to the news of all this fraud?
Much like I'm reacting to a lot of news, resigned.
Resigned. All right. Ken Olson. He's our traffic guru, and he's a Rhodes Scholar. He's been around.
ROAD. Yeah.
That's like in Gravel Road.
That's what I meant. He's a gravel road scholar. One word from Kenny.
Indignant.
Indignant.
Yes.
Rook?
Indignant.
Here we go.
I would say immense.
Immense.
Yes, very large.
You feel
This is-
immense.
This is a large problem where we are going to have to.
You get one word. Bro.
That's
Tackle.
more than
One.
one word.
Stop.
Matthew.
Reavers?
It
I
was the
got
only
it.
big word I could find in the
I got it.
computer here.
Matthew.
Yeah.
Screwed.
All right.
It's on so many levels. We're screwed.
You don't get more than one word.
But that's the word I would use.
That's fine.
What? Okay, let's turn the tables. What's your word,
What's
Joe?
your word, Joe?
Betrayed.
That's good. That's good.
That's what you write. And I
I'd like to
don't.
change mine.
No, but think about it. It's comical. We work, we follow the law, we pay our taxes, we pay our bills, we put faith in the public class, we put faith in the governor, we put faith in the agency heads he hired, and then we put faith in the people those agency heads hired, and it's all been betrayed. I don't think it's too strong to say we have just, as a state, the taxpayers of this state have been absolutely betrayed. It is I got an email from, where is it? One guy wanted to know, could we take the $2 billion in fraud and not pay our taxes equal to $2 billion? Well, no, we probably won't be able to, but I understand what you're saying, buddy. It's an absolute betrayal of the public. There's no other way to look at it. This is getting worse by the minute. It's every agency, it's every corner of the Walz administration. There's been no checks on this whatsoever until it got so pronounced that it could no longer be avoided. And it doesn't make sense, given this extraordinary betrayal of Minnesota, that Walz would run again. So therefore, what is the reason he's running again? Would he avoid some complicity if he was holding office?
Oh.
Does he want to stay in power so he can keep an eye on the fraud? What possible reason could he give for running again when he has presided over the complete betrayal of this state?
In a word, narcissism.
I guess.
Tell me why. Tell me a different reason.
I just offered you my
I
two.
like your dark thinking there.
You mean because he would run because he's in a comfort zone and he?
No, that he thinks he's
How
untouchable.
can he be in a comfort zone?
Well, like like Kenny said, he's untouchable. He's not.
But what has happened to this state that it has allowed such a thorough betrayal of our goodwill and trust? What has happened? Not all Somalis appear in the news, but all Somalis who appear in the news are thieves. What has happened?
Numerous times over the years, last few years, we've brought it up, and I think Chris brought it up again yesterday. The Walls is doubling down on feeding kids. The deeper they get into the feeding our future fraud, the more he doubles down and brags about feeding our kids. What's the deal with that?
You know, this Hassan woman, according to the charging document, her scam ran like this. She would take some of her fraud money, and she would pay parents of kids to claim they were getting treatment from her outfit called Smart Therapy, which was a storefront somewhere. I don't know. It wasn't even a storefront. It was a suite, Suite 203. I don't know what office building. She recruited families in the Somali community to enroll in Smart Therapy even when their child did not have autism. To ramp up enrollment, Hassan and her partners gave monthly kickback payments to parents ranging from $300 to $1,500 to enroll their children, according to court records. There was no child at Smart Therapy was not able to get qualified for autism services, according to the indictment. Parents often threatened to take their children to other autism centers if they did not receive higher kickbacks from Smart Therapy. Okay, let me stop right there. Do you see an implication there?
Yeah. Tell me what.
Okay, here's the implication I see. Parents of children who were blessed enough not to have children with autism were essentially saying to son, if you don't give me enough money, I'll take my non-autism kid to another fraudulent autism center that'll pay me more.
Mm-hmm. I initially thought that she drew in innocent parents and then turned them into criminals.
Yeah. Well, and when they became criminals, they threatened to take their children to another autism center if they didn't receive a higher kickback from Smart Therapy.
Yep, we're on the same page, yep.
That's according to the court filing.
Yep.
Several families ultimately left after being offered larger payments by other centers.
Stop. That's our next page, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So she's just this is the little tip of the iceberg sticking out of the ocean.
Like they're negotiating buying a house.
Right. Yes.
Exactly. Or getting a job. Yeah.
Federal prosecutors said Smart Therapy often employed Hassan's 18 and 19-year-old relatives as behavioral technicians with no formal education beyond high school or no training related to autism treatment. The center also billed the state for services rendered by providers who were outside the country at the time or sometimes not on the clinic's payroll. Transportation services were also billed for drivers who dropped off children in the morning and picked them up in the evening. As part of the fraud scheme, the drivers were on the Smart Therapy payroll, the charges said. Prosecutors said that within the same time period, Hassan emitted fraudulent reimbursement requests from the federal childhood nutrition program. So she's not only a champion, she's a double dipper. She was getting it from the food and the autism and Medicaid.
Well done.
Yeah.
She claimed that that she was serving 200,000 meals to children in 1 year. And there I go back to the betrayal of the people working for us in the state of Minnesota. I can't believe you were stupid enough to believe that she, among many others, was claiming to feed children, 200,000 children a year. You would have noticed that, but you betrayed us.
Wow.
She requested $465,000 in reimbursements under the sponsorship of Feeding Our Future.
Joe, if I had seen this scheme on The Sopranos, I would have turned the TV off and said, nope, nope.
Fake. Could never happen. Could never happen.
Yeah.
The Feeding Our Future case unearthed connections that led the investigators to the autism provider fraud, search warrant affidavits said, which culminated in the federal raid of Smart Therapy, and another provider last December. Similar to the state's housing program, the number of autism providers quickly grew over the years. Oh, Mother of God, are you ready? From 41 providers in 2018 to 328 providers in 2023.
These kids are coming out of the woodwork with autism.
Spending by Feeding Our Future also dramatically increased from dispersing $3.4 million in 2019 to $200 million in 2021.
Full throttle, baby. Foot to the floor.
Thompson previously called the fraud cases a wholesale attack on Minnesota's programs that show the system's state of, they're echoing my thinking of betrayal, that show the system's system of trust for its social services no longer works. These programs have been abused over and over to the point where fraud has overtaken legitimate services, Thompson said. That's your U.S. attorney. That's not your podcast host.
You know what?
Hey, if you don't like America, then you can get it.
My laughing is simply a defense mechanism.
It's laughing of affectation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I really am indignant. I can't believe this happened. I can't believe he's running for another term. I can't believe he hasn't acted like a man and stepped up and said, you know what? This happened under my watch. I screwed up. I'm out of here. I can't believe that.
And last week, I had to write the quarterly check to the state of Minnesota.
And I hope it wasn't $2 under, because they'll threaten to take away your home if it was.
I feel absolutely betrayed as a citizen of this once decent state. And he has wrecked it.
Are we going to stay with this? Because I'd like to play you something.
We may, but first I'd like to tell you about Sioux Falls, which seems
Really happened?
an apropos time. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, 300,000 people, business friendly, no personal, corporate, state income taxes. Sioux Falls is growing, has a large, well-educated workforce. I'm unaware of any fraud. Cost of living is low, centrally located, developed industrial parks. Your cost of doing business is reasonable. Contact the Sioux Falls Development Foundation. They'll provide you the resources to allow you to stop searching for a perfect business site and start growing in Sioux Falls, the best small city for business and careers, according to Forbes magazine. No inheritance tax, no limits to what your business can achieve. Entrepreneurs welcome. Find out everything you need to know at Sioux Falls Development, one word, SiouxFallsDevelopment.com.
world as we know it, and he feels fine. Joe Souchere.
Folks, we've been telling you for quite some time here about the wonderful people over at Minnesota Masonic. The Minnesota Freemasons do a fantastic job, and I want you to go to their website, mnmasonic.org. I want to tell you that they are the best people that have been giving scholarships out. They've been doing wonderful things with the elderly, putting them to their, toward the end of the life. They have a wonderful place that they can end their life with dignity. And Minnesota Masonic is online. They are at mnmasonichomes.org. There's all sorts of different divisions that they have, but the Freemasons are doing a fantastic job with young people, with old people, and of course with the Civility Project. They're trying to get kids back on track to look people in the eye, say hello, and of course act like wonderful, wonderful citizens. Learn more about the Civility Project. You can go to the Masonic. Call 952-948-7000, 952-948-7000. Let them know that you heard it on Garage Logic, and tell them that the Rook sent you. Minnesota Masonic Charities.
Say hello.
Thanks, hello.
I think that everything that a Minnesotan wants to think of is absolutely justified and in play. For example, I've always said, well, Walz blew the $18 billion surplus. I'm now thinking that that was a calculated take of the money. They knew perfectly well what they were going to do with it. I don't believe anything anymore. The trust has been shattered. The people of this state who work hard, pay their bills, pay their taxes, follow the law, have been abused. They've been played for absolute saps. All of us, we've just been played for saps. These people have been taking advantage of us. And I don't think it's unjustified to wonder how high this goes, including as high as a U.S. congressional seat, which would be held by Ilhan Omar. I'm merely suggesting you're justified in wondering that.
How can you not be? Yeah,
because
that's
this is too organized and too calculated. And in virtually any country but the United States, this would have continued. But we do have laws. We do have investigators. We have U.S. attorneys. And we have been blessed by a U.S. attorney who, God continue to help him, he has not been seized by these people. He is independent of them. He is working with his own sense of justice, and he doesn't show any signs of quit. And that's what it took. If this was Somalia, there wouldn't have been this much money to play with. But if this was Somalia, where maybe fraud is a daily way of life, this would have. It just continues and continues and continues. There are roadblocks here, and they're in play. But I want those investigations to now search the highest rungs of the ladder of the people who govern us, because I have come full circle in my belief that they have been complicit. Whether it's just merely as simple as looking the other way or failing to enforce oversight, somehow they've been complicit, because this is so uniform, so widespread, and so expensive that, as the attorney said, no service. Fraud is now bigger than any legitimate service run by the state.
No doubt. Yep.
Fraud is now bigger than any legitimate service run by the state. How does that make you feel, GLers? This is an incredible development. This lady, Hassan, 28 years old, is the first of the autism providers. We already know there are others. We already know there are others because parents who got greedy and said, yeah, I'll sell you my kid for $300 a month. They suddenly said, no, if you don't give me $1,000 a month, I'll find another fake autism provider to pay me more, and I'll take my kid there and register the kid there.
And they did. And they found them.
And they did.
They're there. Yeah.
Wow.
You had asked in the previous segment why. One of you did. I can't remember which one.
Why what?
Why did we get into this mess? How did we get here?
Yeah, I guess I did.
And
What
let me just
happened,
play
I
this
said?
for you. This I've surfaced this again, but this was 3 months ago from our friends at Alpha News. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm Simone Harns with Alpha News. Today we are asking people about their thoughts on Governor Walz. Do they like his policies and what are his biggest accomplishments? Here's what they have to say. Are you a fan of Governor Tim Walz?
Yes.
Why is that? What's his biggest accomplishment?
I'm not surprised. I am not surprised as his answer.
The free lunches at schools. There's become a real villainization of our police force. I don't think that's fair.
I love Governor Tim Walz.
Okay, what's his biggest accomplishment?
Services for disabilities if he doesn't tunnel his share.
What is something he has done that you don't appreciate?
I think handling of the George Floyd.
What has Governor Walz done that you do not appreciate?
Well, the lockdowns when we had COVID.
A couple of years ago, the whole party went crazy, spending way too much money, and now we're gonna
enough.
Now
Yeah,
they're
I've
gonna
had
have to
enough.
cut back and deal with it.
But we're saps.
Well,
we're all
that-
being taken for
That Chris brings up a really good point because, Joe, you just asked, how do you feel about this GLers? Well, you already know the answer to that.
Right.
It's these other voters, I'll call them, that support Walz and have no idea or just don't care about this fraud and that surplus.
At what point will they? There's got to be a number for someone that has a union worker that says, you know what, we really got screwed here. I'm jumping ship.
I don't think so. I among the things I've lost trust in are my fellow Minnesotans.
You know who we should never lose trust in is Joe Thompson.
I'm not going to.
And I know you want him to go that way and investigate the senator and the
I
governor.
think he'll only go that way if that's where the path leads him.
And he will get answers.
I don't think he's going to. He wouldn't jump to that. It seems to me he's following this where it leads him.
Right.
And if it leads him to the governor's office, so be it. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Town council member Mark weighs in. Why is Walz running again? Joe, you asked why Walz is running for governor again. The only answer that I can personally come up with is that Walz is not qualified to do anything else but work in government. So why not be governor again? If he worked in the private sector, there would be job expectations. With his numerous failures, he would have been ousted years ago if in the private sector anyway. That's
well,
from Mark.
I agree with much of what the emailers said, but I think there's a nefarious reason Walz is running again.
I do too.
I do, because no guy with any sense of personal character would be so embarrassed and shamed by this that he could not possibly have the nerve to even say, I want to run again. That could not happen. A guy with a sense of integrity would and who claims to represent the citizens of Minnesota would be so full of despair that he has let us down so significantly that there's not a chance in hell that kind of guy would run again. That wouldn't happen.
That's true.
He should be run out of town. He should be banished from the state.
It sure is. What do you?
This should be top of mind for anyone who goes into a voting booth. To elect these people again would be criminal. It's already criminal. Why would you prolong it? And I'll tell you, Connor, you want to know why? I'll tell you why he would get voted again. Because the country is plagued by this horrible polarization that to many people, even many people listening, if I am against Walz, it must mean I'm pro-Trump.
Exactly.
And that's it.
That's the only leg he has to stand on.
That's infected this country. So we can't see the forest for the trees anymore because we're so consumed with division that you can't take these cases as they fall. To me, it's fallen this way. We have a governor in the state of Minnesota who is, if not corrupt, is inattentive and incompetent. That has nothing to do with Trump. Nothing. But that's the way it's going to be interpreted, particularly, unfortunately, in this state. People would rather put up with this thievery than to acknowledge that. See, they might even think to be opposed to Trump would make that be opposed to Walz would make them pro-Trump, and they're so screwed up they wouldn't do that. It has nothing to do with Trump. Zero.
Well, we're in trouble when mayors and now governors are running to fight Trump.
That's all. And Walz is showing some cleverness there. That's an acknowledgement that he has nothing to run on.
But his supporters love that. They eat it up. And
because to them, it's anti-Trump.
Right.
I don't want to do this to you. It is Positive Thursday.
No, it isn't.
But Governor Tim Walz did release this video 2 days ago.
All right.
Now, one thing Donald Trump did do is he identified that we do have a broken system in this country. He ran on a promise to bring down prices on day one for working people, and he hasn't done a damn thing about it since then. Eggs, chickens, pork, beef, you name it, all are up over 10%. But I keep saying this, they said, well, you never, ever give the president credit for when he keeps his word on something. And I said, well, it's rare, but he did keep his word on something. He did bring something down. Tax rates for billionaires who golf with him. He's done that. He was doing that.
Okay, stop.
He said those.
That's all he has. He knows perfectly well that the division in the country is so profound that in this state, that's a winning formula for him.
Yep.
What can the governor do to bring down the prices of eggs
Nothing.
and chickens and pork?
Nothing. He's never done anything to bring it down. You can't.
Ever. No, of course not.
Chicken fraud coming in 2026.
Let's go. Bok, bok, bok.
So people will be happy if he gets elected again, and they'll be surrounded by theft, corruption, crime, lousy streets. You name it. This is all he has. He's running against Trump to be the governor of Minnesota because he knows the people of Minnesota would vote for him rather than choose to see this as a case that needs to be solved within these borders and that it has nothing to do with Trump.
I'm looking at his social media account. I am not joking. This is not hyperbole. Every other tweet he issues has the word Trump in it.
That's his campaign.
That's it.
That's what he's campaigning on.
We've got a bunch of Trump wannabes in this race with plans to run Minnesota like Mar-a-Lago. Well, I promise you this. I'll never stop fighting to protect this state we love from Trump's corruption and cruelty, no matter which of his lackeys is peddling it.
See, that's eerie. That's almost eerie. It's so frighteningly off track.
Yes.
It so frighteningly has nothing to do with the state and the condition he's leaving the citizens of this state in.
But I can put a positive spin on this, I think. When he says things like that, there's a great deal of voters in Minnesota and across the country that all that does is fire them up and encourage them to get out the vote and vote against him. Do you see what I'm saying?
In this state?
Yeah, in this state.
I don't even see it in this state.
Well, come out and visit me sometime.
I was going to say, what Kenny's saying is, Joe, if you leave the metro, everyone outside of this
loathe. They loathe
they can't
him,
stand
Joe.
him.
They hate him.
And his approval rating is, I think, what did I see? The latest KSTP poll was 47% agree, 47% disagree, and 6% aren't sure.
And Joe, wait, Joe. And there's people out here like you that hate Trump, but hate the governor even more.
Well, he proved in the last election to win, all he needs is the Metro.
Right.
Yep.
And he's got that.
And he's got the Metro because the Metro's full of people who aren't thinking.
To the point where he didn't even do a campaign outside of the Metro.
I can't believe he can shit on the entire state of Minnesota except the Metro and still win.
Yeah.
He hates it out here. God.
All right, then. So that's more positivity coming up on the Garage Logic podcast.
What a rational soul should be able to do is distinguish between the presidency and its ramifications and a governor of a state and his ramifications. Are we surrounded by that many irrational people?
Yes.
And we're surrounded also, as you've talked a million times, by tribal things. You know, if I'm voting for him, I can't vote for this guy. He's in the other party.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in the meantime, we're fleeced, we're betrayed, we're taken advantage of, we're abused, we're used, we're kicked to the side of the curb.
All we got is that fraud.
All I got is beer. Oh, man. A beautiful, beautiful weather forecast that seems to continue endlessly into this beautiful spring.
Is it going to be 83 next week?
Yeah, so get out to EcoFun while the getting's good. There, you got a month left.
How's your winter going so far?
Wonderful.
21st.
Wonderful. Get to EcoFun Motorsports, Forest Lake, Columbus, right on Highway 97, immediately west of 35. It's the electric bike capital of the world. We got a great note the other day from a guy telling us how much he enjoys his electric bike. 90% of the travel for 10% of the pedaling, or whatever he said. He's been all over the state. He's got 2,000 miles on his electric bike. And when you're there, you'll realize it's the greatest recreational stop you can make. Great motorcycles and scooters and youth recreational equipment and 4x4s. And yeah, I suppose he's got to do it because of the season, even though it's beautiful out. I suppose the winter equipment's coming in. It's the electric bike capital of the world, EcoFun Motorsports in Forest Lake / Columbus, just west of the interstate on Highway 97, and down in Burnsville, EcoFun Motorsports on the service road of life near County Road 42, and a really, really dangerous website because you want to get there. EcoFunMotorsports.com.
I was 17, my old man was 55. If you do the math between the two of us, that's 72 years of life. An eternity, so it seemed to me. How could anything live that long? Now I say my folks were only 84 the year that they passed on. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be. And my grandpa Roy, when he was a boy in 1904, he was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed, and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be. Oh, Johnny!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Johnny, hey! Oh, yeah!
Did the guitar face.
Ibuprofen's under buy again in my online shopping cart. Every week I learn of something else I should be doing for my heart. If I use the wrong pillow, I might have trouble getting out of bed. My hair grows in my ears and nose now more than on my head. As a kid, to me, ancient history was something like World War I. But I arrived close to that time, and this year as I sing this song, and I'm starting to find I can wrap my mind around life is brief and dear. I can hardly believe my baby girl's turned 26 this year. Oh, a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see everybody. 100 years ain't what it used to be. Before you know it, you're 63, making plans for Medicare A and B. You look around yourself and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
Thank you for that abrupt ending. I got a confession to make, boys. And I feel as though I owe it to you. I have to apologize to Emma. I have to apologize to Awaken 180 Weight Loss. You know why? On account of, you want to know why?
You got off the wagon?
Nope. I missed my check-in call yesterday
Chris,
morning.
I think this, I've been keeping tabs. I think you've apologized to every single client that you do business with.
Pretty much. Wow. Let's see.
Just so you know, clients, I don't apologize because I don't make mistakes. Just so you know,
I missed a
future
payment
reference.
with Bilski. Let's see.
Could we do a ad that's not 5 minutes?
Hi, how about this? How about Awaken 180 Weight Loss? Kenny, thank you for accurately mentioning that statement.
The water guys out at the fair.
Yeah, I miss those guys too. But you know what? Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. It's a proven weight loss program that's built for absolutely anyone. You eat to lose weight. And it's a solution that's worked for over 800,000 people. There's no medications. There's absolutely no workouts required. There's no fasting involved. It's a proven weight loss program. One-on-one weekly coaching, unless you miss your phone call with Emma, for accountability and adjustments, and it's a clear daily plan. There's no complicated tracking or counting. And you know what? Your coach is going to help you pick out restaurant menu items if needed. And it's an at-home program built for any lifestyle, busy schedules, whatever. It's adapted for you. You can still go on vacation. You can still go out. You can still tailgate. You can still have drinks and stay on the plan. But, Joe, the first step is to get on that website, which is awaken180weightloss.com, 180. Awaken180weightloss.com, or call them directly for that consultation at 844-346-1800 and tell them that you heard about them on the Garage Logic podcast.
Here's John Haidt.
Thank you, Joe. This news is brought to you by North American Banking Company. You guys been following this kidnapping story?
Oofda.
It's a bit long, and and involved, but I believe there's probably more to it than we know.
The one out in Washington County?
In Matamidi.
In Matamidi?
Yeah, yep. 2 men in custody facing criminal charges in connection to a reported home invasion and kidnapping that prompted a safety alert near Matamidi High School last week. The Washington County Sheriff's Office's 23-year-old Raymond Christian Garcia and his brother, 24-year-old Isaiah Angelo Garcia, were arrested Monday in Texas, in Waller County. Prosecutors filed charges against the pair on Wednesday, charging each with 3 counts of kidnapping, 3 counts of burglary, and 1 count of aggravated robbery. The sheriff's office said authorities got a 911 call reporting a kidnapping related to a robbery at gunpoint around 5 o'clock last Friday in the 7300 block of Inwood Way North in the city of Grant. 3 apparent victims were found unhurt at the scene, but it prompted Matamidi Public Schools to issue a safety alert asking anyone on their campus to go to a locked vehicle or building, and they also canceled the high school football game out of, can I still say this? Did we foghorn this one? An abundance of caution.
Well, that's got to get the horn.
I couldn't remember if it
Get
was
that one.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's
That's
your ruling?
fine with
you're
me.
the mayor.
Yeah,
Prosecutors say the 911 caller had whispered into the phone that he and his family were kidnapped and held hostage at gunpoint in their home in Inwood Way. According to the documents, the Garcia brothers allegedly ran up to one of the victims at about 7:45 in the morning when the guy was going out to get his garbage can on the street, then forced him into his garage at gunpoint, tied him up, woke up the other victims, and tied them up too. In the following hours, a criminal complaint says the brothers held the caller and his mother at gunpoint with a rifle and forced the caller's father to go to their family cabin near Jacobson. Authorities say the victims' cryptocurrency wallets worth over $36,000 were stolen, and additional funds were on a separate crypto wallet at the family cabin. While searching the area, law enforcement did find a suitcase that had a rifle, clothing, bottles, and a Wendy's receipt. And the police used that receipt from Wendy's to check the restaurant surveillance footage from the time that the purchase was made and see the license plate number on the suspect's vehicle, which had been rented near Houston, Texas. And on Sunday, authorities arrested the brothers. The following day, law enforcement executed a search warrant at their home in Waller, Texas, recovered items matching what the suspects were seen with. The Garcias are now being held in Texas until they can be extradited back to Minnesota. Each of the kidnapping charges carries a penalty of up to 40 years in prison. The others each are punishable by up to 20 years if they're convicted.
Don't ever tell me food is not the center of the universe. A Wendy's receipt. Turn these morons in.
What's it doing inside the suitcase with the firearm stuff?
I have no idea.
Good question.
Joe, can you explain? I'm going to be honest. I don't understand any of the thing. And I was reading along in the Star Tribune. I still don't get it. What the hell's a crypto wallet?
Well, and here's the thing. They had to have known about the crypto,
Joe?
right? The money going in.
A crypto wallet is what, Joe?
Go.
It's a little wallet that you have a crypto in. You put a
It's
crypto
not.
in.
Is it?
I have no idea. I'm sure it's something electronic.
It's
Do you know what it is?
What is
Well,
it?
then why was it at the cabin? Why couldn't you access it anywhere?
They normally are specific to an electronic device.
Oh.
So I could only get it out of this
Do you remember the
computer. Just
NFT
what I was gonna
things?
say.
It's
The
mostly-
NFTs, like the photos that people were selling.
So, Gabe, do you understand that story? Can you dumb it down for us? Tell us what just happened.
Basically, a crypto is going to be specific. It's like a stock account, but it's specific to only one thing. So it keeps it all in one location, if that makes sense. It's not like I can log into it on all my devices and go on and look at all of my stuff on different areas.
So it's a physical thing in a computer.
Yeah, basically. It's like a hard drive, if that makes sense. It's a hard drive with all of your money in one
Yeah,
location.
because if you had cash and it was in the family cabin, you'd have to go to the cabin to get it. So it's
Let's not. Okay. So then these guys broke in, tied them up, made them transfer their crypto from their wallet to another wallet. Is that?
Yeah, because they probably had another specific device to put that on.
How did the fellas know? You know what I'm saying?
I want to move on.
No, there's one more important question. First of all, answer John's question.
What?
Did they fess up?
How did they know that they had?
How did they know that they had this 36K?
That I wouldn't know.
Okay, and then my final question. how do you turn that into real money?
It is real money.
No, I mean, how do you turn it into cash in my hands that I can buy a pack of Marlboros with?
It's a transfer to your checking account. You would have to sell it just like a stock. So I wouldn't be able to go to Target and pay with Walmart shares. I'd have to sell the Walmart shares, then get the cash, and then I can use the cash.
You got all that, Joe?
Yeah, repeat that. Run that by me again there.
I think it's
Joe, you filled up your car the other day. Did you use cryptocurrency or what? 20s, 10s?
Why don't we move along?
That's
here?
the way I feel about gold. What good does gold do me? Am I going to take a bunch of gold doubloons to the gas station?
No, you can hold it in your hand.
Yeah.
It's real.
You have a bar of...
$2.// period Georgia.
Gold, a bar's now worth, $3,400?
Yeah, sure.
An ounce.
I got 50% at 10% and
You can
nothing.
go to Pawn America and cash it in.
I really miss technological corner with you,
Can we just
Patrick.
continue, please?
Or all of this bring Jack Benny back?
In other news, local business news from the Star Tribune, an aging Hampton Inn in Burnsville could soon become the site of a drug treatment facility. Repurposing of old hotels became a popular thing to do in the past 5 years or so in the Twin Cities, and the owner of this hotel at 14400 Nicollet Court is seeking permission from the city to turn the building into an inpatient rehab center. If plans move forward, the facility would offer 148 beds for people receiving care for substance use and mental health issues. The treatment center would join other reconfigured spaces in the metro area that were once hotels, from an affordable housing development for veterans in Robbinsdale to a flurry of tiny apartments in Bloomington. It has sparked some debate, though, across the metro, with residents and local officials worrying about crime, strain on emergency services, and the facility's fit within the neighborhood. A homeless shelter plan for an Eagan hotel remains on pause after a fierce backlash. Many Bloomington hotels that functioned as makeshift homeless shelters during the pandemic have since ended that use, and a recuperative care business that Ramsey County housing officials were operating in a Brooklyn Center hotel lost its city license and attracted scrutiny from that county. MyPillow has listed its Chaska corporate headquarters for sale as Mike Lindell's embattled company consolidates operations in Shakopee. Lindell said yesterday, then we're all in one place. We have our outlet store there, we have our shipping headquarters there, and our procurement headquarters there. So now we would just be adding our executives down there and our call center. In 2021, MyPillow paid $4.15 million for the Chaska office, which is about 46,000 square feet. The property is now for sale for $3.2 million with Newmark Marketing. Although Lindell emphasized the move is about consolidation, the business has been financially squeezed in recent years. Unpaid rent and risky loans have piled up as MyPillow finds its way without the support of any major retailers. Many big box stores dropped the brand in 2021 as Lindell became a leading voice promoting the debunked theory that the 2020 presidential election was stolen. An Anoka County judge has been publicly reprimanded and ordered to serve a 9-month unpaid suspension for judicial misconduct. The Minnesota Supreme Court handed down the punishment, which included a censure for Judge John P. Dean this week. Back in 2024, our friends at 5 Investigates reported on allegations of a pattern of prejudice by Dean. Following that report, a state panel recommended a 6-month suspension, but Minnesota's High Court decided the judge's conduct warranted more than that. Among the somewhat odd things that the court documents mentioned is that he did some of the court cases from a passenger seat in a car being driven by his wife. So court hearings were done that way, and the lawyers involved in those hearings testified they found that shocking. And
well, he sounds terribly efficient.
Yeah,
He's riding. Right. What was he going to, like a
shotgun and he's
a recital or something, or dancing?
Wasn't it a swimming
meet?
Swimming meet, yeah. He was driving to, or not driving, but he was being driven to a swimming meet where his family members were taking part. His conduct led to several of his rulings
What the hell's wrong with that?
being overturned. When Dean gave his side to the state panel, he admitted poor judgment in holding court from the car, but defended his guardianship rulings, telling the panel he merely made an error of law.
Joe, my word is indignant, but yet I laugh. It's a defense mechanism.
I understand.
Why don't we take a quick break at this point before some more news?
The earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
In addition to issuing apologies to clients that choose me as their advertiser, I also like to issue corrections. And we have a major one to issue today. Are you ready for this, ladies and gentlemen? We are nuts, mn.com. I got this email from Gary that Joe handed to me the other day. Went to the New Hope Fratelloni's last week with the intention of buying some We Are Nuts. Grabbed a few flavors, and while at the checkout line, I noticed Master's Maple's display there as well. Well, I said I needed some of that. And from previous trips to the store, I know that they don't carry Seafoam. I was on a roll. I would have bought one just because. Well, Gary, I got news for you. I talked to the owner about this very thing, Mike Fratelloni, on the Weekly Scramble podcast. He said, Gary,
Slow down.
You idiot.
Dummy.
We've been carrying Seafoam for years.
I would think so.
At that location.
I was worried about that.
See,
Chris.
That's just it, Gary. So thanks, by the way, for the email. We Are Nuts and wearenutsmn.com. You have just a couple of days left to take advantage of that wonderful special right now that's going on at all Lund's and Byerly's and Kowalski's markets. Through the end of the month of September, you are going to get 25% off all of the wonderful snacks from We Are Nuts and wearenutsmn.com. So any one of your Kowalski's markets and Lund's and Byerly's locations, they have those wonderful end cap displays that are going on right now. And if you're not able to make it in, just go on their website at wearenutsmn.com. You can place your order and have it shipped anywhere in the U.S. of A. and let them know that you heard about them on the Garage Logic podcast. Johnny?
Thank you, Chris. In national and international stories, a bit of a mystery this morning as Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has ordered hundreds of U.S. military's generals and admirals to gather on short notice and with no stated reason at a Marine Corps base in Virginia next week.
Oh, boy.
A highly unusual directive was sent to virtually all of the military's top commanders worldwide, according to more than a dozen people familiar with the matter. The directive was issued earlier this week as a government shutdown looms and months after Hegseth's team at the Pentagon announced plans to undertake a sweeping consolidation of top military commands. In a statement this morning, Pentagon spokesman Sean Parnell affirmed that Hegseth will be addressing his senior military leaders early next week, but he offered no additional details. Parnell, a senior advisor to the defense secretary, voiced no concerns about the meeting. There are about 800 generals and admirals spread across the United States and dozens in other countries and time zones. Hegseth's order, people familiar with the matter said, applies to all senior officers with the rank of brigadier general or above or their Navy equivalent serving in command positions and their top enlisted advisors. Typically, those officers each oversee hundreds of thousands of rank-and-file troops. The election of Adelita Grijalva, a Democrat who on Tuesday won a special election for a House seat in Arizona, will probably be enough to force a House vote on a measure demanding that the Trump administration release its investigative files on Jeffrey Epstein. Grijalva has committed to signing on to the so-called discharge petition that would force action on the measure. The petition needs the signature of a majority of the House, 218 members, to succeed, and Grijalva would be poised to be the 218th. It is likely to take weeks for the measure, which is co-sponsored by Representatives Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna, one a Republican, one a Democrat, to come to a vote, and the effort could falter if any of the three Republicans who have signed on withdraw their backing.
Can I clarify something Kenny said?
Yeah.
I don't hate Trump, and I don't hate Walz. I don't want to hate anyone. I find Trump ill-formed.
I overuse that word when I truly feel the same way.
Yeah,
that's a Kenny problem. I'll work on that.
I'm trying to live in a situation where I don't hate. It's pointless to hate. I don't
You can
hate.
dislike greatly.
Same with me.
I think I don't even hate Walz. I just find him disagreeable to the nth degree, and I wouldn't have him as a governor. But I don't hate anybody. I just want to clarify that.
Thank you. I agree.
Yeah.
Former FBI Director James Comey is expecting to be indicted for lying to Congress, according to multiple reports. Comey has been a staunch critic of Donald Trump's administration since the president fired him back in 2017. Sources say he'll be indicted in the coming days, although the extent of the charges are unclear. News of the potential indictment came days after Eric Sept, the interim U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, resigned under pressure from the president after opposing the filing of charges against Comey in that district, his office saying there wasn't enough evidence to proceed with charges. Sept was replaced as interim U.S. attorney on Monday by Lindsay Halligan, who has previously represented the president in personal legal issues. Amazon has reached a historic $2.5 billion settlement with the Federal Trade Commission, which said the online retail giant tricked customers into signing up for its Prime memberships and made it difficult for them to cancel after they did it. The company will pay $1 billion in civil penalties, the largest fine in FTC history, and $1.5 billion will be paid to consumers who were unintentionally enrolled in Prime or were deterred from canceling their subscriptions. Eligible Prime customers include those who may have signed up for a membership via the company's single-page checkout between June 23, 2019 to June 23, 2025.
John, you put the emphasis on the words billion. We missed something.
Yeah.
Bill Glahn of the American Experiment, his take on this most recent discovery of the $14 million autism fraud, he writes, Today's charges mark the first in the ongoing investigation into fraud. To be clear, this is not an isolated scheme from feeding our future to housing stabilization services and now autism services. These are Joe Thompson's words. These massive fraud schemes form a web that has stolen billions of dollars in taxpayer money. And Glahn notes, please note Thompson's use of the word billions. We're only getting to the start of this. It's billions. Go ahead, John. Thank you.
Sales of new homes spiked in August as builders piled on discounts and slashed prices to try and lure buyers. The sales rate for new single-family homes in August was 800,000, according to the Commerce Department this morning. New home sales jumped 20.5% in August from the previous month. The numbers are seasonally adjusted and refer to how many homes would be built over an entire year if builders continued at the same pace every month. The new home sales figures vastly exceeded expectations on Wall Street. Economists surveyed by Dow Jones Newswires and the Wall Street Journal expected about a 650,000 pace in August. Industry watchers say the spike is evidence the builders' tactic of offering aggressive discounts to attract buyers has paid off. Starbucks said today it's closing hundreds of U.S. and Canadian stores and laying off 900 non-retail employees as it focuses more resources on a turnaround. The Seattle coffee giant said store closures would start right away. The company wouldn't give a number of stores that are closing, but it said it expects to have about 18,300 North American locations when its fiscal year ends on Sunday, which is 124 fewer than it had at the end of the 24 fiscal year. Starbucks said it will notify non-retail employees whose positions are being eliminated early Friday. Starbucks asked employees who can work from home to do so on Thursday and Friday.
I do hear, though, John, that some of those employees are understanding that Dunkin' Donuts is currently hiring.
Hey, now.
I have a word nerd alert. Okay? Got that?
Yeah.
Merriam-Webster announced today it's taken the rare step of fully revising and reimagining one of the most popular dictionaries with a fresh edition that adds 5,000 new words. Among those new words, teraflop, dumb phone, petrichor, and ghost kitchen. The 12th edition of the Merriam-Webster's
Ghost Kitchen.
I'll tell you in a minute, Chris. The 12th edition of Merriam-Webster's Collegiate Dictionary comes 22 years after the book's last hard copy update and amid declining U.S. sales for analog dictionaries overall. Petrichor is a pleasant odor after a rainfall following a warm, dry period. We all know that smell, right?
I love that smell.
I do too. Teraflop is a unit of measure for calculating the speed of a computer. Dumb phones are what you'd expect, mobile devices we used before the smartphone revolution. And ghost kitchens, Chris, which came into their own during the pandemic, are commercial spaces for hire. I don't know what that means.
Huh? So. Man, I still miss my American Heritage Dictionary that I went back to fetch on the day we were told that you're not here anymore. I said, what do you mean? You're not here anymore. The paper's gone. So there went my dictionary.
How long had you been away from your from your dictionary at that time?
A couple weeks. You know, it was a. I
This
had
really
I had
affected
owned it
you.
since 1969.
Yeah, this was hurtful.
It was, Kenny. It was.
Kenny's right. You sound very sad about this.
It was. It was my favorite dictionary.
What were you more saddened about, losing the dictionary or realizing that the newspaper you've worked at for a long, long time no longer had a building?
That's a good question. I think the dictionary.
I still have my big red dictionary and my big blue thesaurus.
Yep, I have the
I love them both.
I remember being mocked some time ago, decades ago, maybe it was in Maplewood, when I had a big red dictionary and I had rookie on it so nobody would steal it. And Mr. Bojangles over here comes on the air and says, I wonder how much dust is on top of it. the unopened dictionary.
Good news, by the way, though. Barnes & Noble says for the first time in a long time, dictionary sales are up.
Oh.
And they attribute that basically to nostalgia.
We know at least one was sold recently.
I love a good dictionary. I think it should be in every home.
And I not to continue to pile on here, but I do recall that story being told on Monday Night Sports Talk, and your co-host having one of the deepest belly laughs that I've ever heard in my life.
He had a good chuckle
when he realized that the Pioneer Press no longer had a building anymore.
Well, isn't he in the same position right now?
They have a floor somewhere. They have a floor.
I mean, the Star Tribune is now printing breaking news that was actually breaking 2 days ago.
Right.
Not yesterday, 2 days ago.
Right.
Get Wednesday's breaking news tomorrow.
John, thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to tell you something. About your garage door. If you need a new one, get it done while the weather's good. You don't want to do that in the dead of winter.
I saw a truck on my way in today, a precision truck.
Door?
Yep.
Precision Door has models of doors for every budget. The designer comes out for the consult. That's free of charge. Just think of what it does. It increases the aesthetics. It saves energy. It provides better security. And right now there's a great offer from Precision Door for GLers. $100 off a single door and $200 off a double door. And get it done while the weather's good. If you like your current door, but she's making a little racket, they do have a noisy door tune-up special for $140. You get a little safety inspection and diagnostic there. Take care of that garage door with the proper maintenance and get ready for the cold weather ahead. Book online at precisiondoormn.com. or call Precision Door at 612-263-6985 to schedule your free on-site new door estimate or book a tune-up.
This guy wears many hats, just not indoors. Joe Souchere.
Let's talk about North American Banking Company, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the deal. It's banking done differently. You already know that. You already know there's 6 Twin Cities locations: Roseville, 50th in France, Hastings, Woodbury, Shoreview, and also Maple Grove. But did you know, ladies and gentlemen, they are locally owned and operated? Here's why that's important. That means loan decisions are made right here in the Twin Cities. No. They are not sent out of state. So this helps all of you business owners solve problems quickly and also be able to expand your business with confidence. You see, North American Banking Company deals with numbers every single day, but you, your family, and your business are never going to be one of them. When they first opened back in 1998, they made a promise to deliver a better banking experience for their customers, where you know your banker and they know you. And while a lot has changed since then, this commitment to being a true community bank in the Twin Cities, that has not. They invest in the people, businesses, and organizations that make the Twin Cities a great place to live. So check them out online today. It's nabankco.com to learn more. Once again, it's banking done differently. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender. Joe?
You'll recall, fellas, that I said I wasn't putting a lot of stock in the UN. I've never believed in the UN. I can't believe they're still here.
Get them out of your country.
Taking up our prime real estate. Just, it's pointless. I have some additional evidence that might back up my claim for that. There's a young woman named Violet Affleck who is apparently noteworthy for no other reason than she's the daughter of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner.
Yes.
She's 19 years old. She goes to Yale. Now, I don't know why, but she apparently has credibility with the UN because she joined global leaders, policymakers, scientists, and health experts at the UN headquarters in New York for the inaugural Healthy Indoor Air, a global call to action event. The UN has a lot of global calls to action that gratefully have never resulted in anything, and neither will this. But she wore her mask. She talked through her mask. She had a muffled voice, and she apparently credible only because of who she is, said she represents a generation that in many ways already knows how we've been failed. We are told by leaders across the board that we are the future. But when it comes to the ongoing pandemic, she appears to believe that we're still in the midst of the COVID. But when it comes to the ongoing pandemic, our present is being stolen in front of our eyes. We need a new clean air infrastructure. And then she was done, I guess. But what is the point of that, and how serious should you take the UN if she's brought in as a youth advocate for no other reason, apparently, than she's the daughter of 2 movie stars? She's not a scientist.
That's the only reason they're paying attention to her.
She's not a chemist. She's not a mathematician.
What's her name?
Violet Affleck.
Is she
Affleck?
Is she our own version of Greta Thunberg, only less angry?
Yeah, well, and less known. She pleaded for clean air regulation. She wants to recognize filtered air as a human right. All right.
Filtered air as a human right.
In other words, there's a fighting chance she would be opposed to large chunks of soot in the air.
Got it.
Right.
Got it.
We can create clean air infrastructure that is so ubiquitous and so obviously necessary that tomorrow's children will not even know why we need it. All right.
These are children that will never leave the house or a building, right?
In July of 2024, the same young woman spoke at a meeting of the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors to argue against mask bans. I don't know what that means because she's now wearing a mask. Well,
against mask bans, so that would be for masks.
Oh, that's right, John. Yeah. You're right.
Has anybody banned masks?
Not that I'm aware of, but she was arguing, please don't ever ban masks because
Well, she just gave me a good idea, Joe, actually. Thanks for bringing that up.
She spoke in favor of air filtration and UVC light in government facilities, including jails and detention centers, and mask mandates in all county medical facilities. In May this year, she had an academic research paper called A Chronically Ill Earth, COVID Organizing as a Model Climate Response in Los Angeles, and that was published in the Yale Global Health Review. The research paper highlighted her experience during the Los Angeles wildfires in January and the parallels between that and COVID. I would imagine, young lady, that if you were somewhere near those wildfires, you did experience some bad air. That's generally what happens during a fire when half the state's burning down. I would imagine she was safe on the patio of some mansion overlooking it, but she was all right because she had her mask on. I'm going too long with this. That's why the UN is useless. Who is she?
Right. Get out of my country.
Aflac is her name.
Aflac.
Only because they come to us.
I forgot to mention this. Can you do
Here we
that
go.
first, please?
Yeah, try that one.
Is this one that has the right address?
Maples Marbles.
Did you ever take care of that address thing? Did you?
Yes, sir.
Well, today we have a Geeler of the Week. Get ready, all you people in Watertown, Minnesota.
That's
I
out west.
love Watertown.
Joseph McLaren of Watertown, Minnesota. You are the GLer of the Week.
Congratulations.
You win the Masters Maples gift pack.
Yes, sir.
And you get the syrup and the seasoning and the whole deal. That's fantastic.
When's the last time you've been to Watertown?
It's been a while, I bet. Where is it?
She's out west.
West of Minnetonka?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right there on the river, the Crow River.
Joseph McLaren of Watertown, Minnesota. Congratulations. You're the guy.
Thank you, sir.
You're one of the guys.
You are one of the guys.
One of the guys that win the syrup.
On the team.
To win the syrup. And only because they come to us all the way from Spain.
Watertown's got a heck of a town ball club.
I bet they do. This is from the Traveling Lymans who are in Spain. It was on this day.
Joe, today is September 25th.
In 1867, Horace Goodhue Jr. opened a prep school in Northfield with 23 students. The institution was first known as Northfield College, but a generous donation from William Carleton of Charlestown, Mass. inspired its later name, Carleton College. On this day,
Joe, today is September 25.
In 1896, Generals Oliver O. Howard, Daniel Sickles, Alexander Stewart, and Russell Alger spoke against the Silver Standard, a populist platform, and in support of William McKinley to an audience of about 6,000 at St. Paul's Auditorium. On their speaking tour of the northwestern states, the generals also stopped in Le Sueur, Little Falls, St. Peter, Mankato, and Wilmer. On this day,
September 25.
In 1937, Ironton thug John Henry Seedland and accomplice James Atwood Gray kidnapped Charles Sherman Ross in Chicago. The kidnappers demanded a $50,000 ransom from their hideout near Emily, Minnesota. In the end, Seedland murdered Ross and Gray at a location north of Spooner, Wisconsin. Seedland was captured at a racetrack in California and executed by order of the state of Illinois in 1938. Boy, that was a hell of a crime spree, wasn't it?
Wow.
On this day,
Joe, today is September 25th.
In 2015, in hopes of preserving a genetically rare type of bison, the Minnesota Zoo and the Department of Natural Resources collaborated to release 11 bison at Minneopa State Park near Mankato. On this day in Minnesota sports disappointment history.
You're talking about September 25th.
This one I thought was a real sports disappointment history. On this day
September 25th.
1981. Last night game at Metropolitan Stadium.
Oh, man. Once there was a ballpark.
Boy, I'll say. On this day,
September 25th.
In 2021, the Gophers lost to Bowling Green 14-10 as 31-point favorites.
I was there with my kids and my dad, and it was a joke. That was a
31-point favorites.
That was
Who was the coach in 2021? The Flecker?
That was the Flecker. Yeah.
The Flecker was there. Wonder how did he spin that one? I wonder. I don't.
It was
remember.
all on him, if I'm not mistaken.
So he didn't run into the locker room then and dive into the players.
He did not. No. Hey, the last night game at the old Met, is that when we hacksawed everything off, or was that after the Vikings season?
That was after a Vikings game.
Okay.
I would have been at that game in 1981, the last night game.
Did we shed a few tears?
I really didn't. I said a guy could get a book out of this.
It's all about me.
Why not? Guy could get a book out of this. Here, I'm going to give you that back.
Okay.
And I'm going to just give my but thank you, GL.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you do us a favor if you haven't done so already? You should join the thousands of subscribers on the Garage Logic YouTube channel. That's right. Garage Logic has a YouTube channel, and on that channel, you can watch the show each and every single day. You can also see full segments. There's video shorts. There's behind-the-scenes footage. It's all there for you. Just search Garage Logic on YouTube, and you can find us on all of our social media channels, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and, of course, Twitter. And also sign up for the Daily Logician. That's an email that comes right to your inbox each and every single day, and it includes the most recent episode of the podcast. Find out more and sign up today on the website, which is, of course, garagelogic.com.